Hey, what's up everybody? I'm SuperSonicJB, and now I have officially become a ninja. I mean, just check out my sick ninja costume, isn't it cool? And now that I'm a ninja, I'm gonna do all the things that ninjas do to help me in my training. For instance, did you know that ninjas love to have squirt gun fights? Ha, I got you. Man, us ninjas sure love this. Oh, what? You didn't know about this? Well, that's okay, because we also love cooking while listening to music. Oh yeah, this is so much fun. Oh, also, did you know us ninjas love to getting a massage?
Hello, it seems like you're my next— Oh shit, a robber!
No, I—
Take this, robber! Nut shot!
Oh, stop, please!
Wait, stop, please! Wait, stop!
Yeah, you want some more? You want some more?
Help! Oh, no, stop, please!
Don't be stealing from me!
Wow, that training went terribly. I'm sorry to think that ninjas don't even like any of this crap. I mean, I mainly just been playing a bunch of Senran Kagura Spinoff games lately, so I just automatically assume that ninjas like this stuff because they're ninjas and they like that stuff. Maybe I should have been a samurai. Let me ask you, what's the first thing you think of when you hear ninjas? Well, if you thought big titty anime girls, then congratulations, you're a weeb and a sim. Oh, and you're also probably a fan of Senran Kagura. Senran Kagura is a video game series about a bunch of hot ninja girls called Shinobi who fight for good and evil. It's a hack and slash series produced by Marvelous and Tamsoft. Now, I honestly don't have a ton of experience with the series, but I do know one thing. This series has some great fan service. Yeah, this series loves to sexualize its main characters a ton. But that's why people love the series so much. Hashtag ninja babes and swimsuits for life. It does really go all out to make the Shinobi look as cute and sexy as possible. And since this series became popular, this led to an anime being made, as well as some spin-off games coming out. And in today's video, I wanted to play through and review some of these spin-off games. Now, I'm not going to talk about every spin-off game in the series, I'm just going to focus on the ones that caught my attention the most, so without further ado, let's check out some Senran Kagura spin-off games. Now, I played this first game a few years ago for a YouTube video, and it was pretty weird. Oh, that tickles? Okay, fine. Oh, this is so awkward. Yeah, don't ever play this game with your parents in the same room. See what I mean? I only really played that game once though, and I kind of forgot about it over time, so let's take a look at the full game and discuss it. This game is called Senran Kagura Reflections. In this game, you're some faceless dude who is madly in love with Asuka, the main character from the series. In fact, the two of you are so in love that she constantly wants you to give her a massage. Because, come on, that's clearly what all couples do, right? Alright, which one of you happy couples wants a massage? You both meet up in a school classroom because it's an anime game, so of course you're in school. Asuka called you here to this classroom one day because she wants your help to search herself? What? Oh, wait, stop! Please! So anyway, she asked us to hold her hands, and at this point, we finally get to start playing the actual game. Before you play a minigame, you have to massage Asuka's hands, and once you massage a certain spot for a while, you are sent inside one of her many daydreams, and this is truly where the game gets really weird. Well, weirder than it already has been, at least. In these daydream scenes, Asuka will act like a certain type of anime girl, such as a hot teacher, a little sister type, and my personal favorite, a tough but flirty warrior lady. At least, that's what I think she's supposed to be here. So in these scenes, Asuka imagines herself as whatever type of anime girl you get after massaging her hands. She talks to you a bit and asks you to massage her, and at this point, you can start touching her body wherever you want. This clip sounds so weird out of context. If you massage one of her sweet spots for a short period of time, then you can finally play a minigame. And these minigames are the main focus of the game. At first, you only have the hands minigame available, but as you play on, you unlock more minigames. Let's talk about the hands minigame first. In this minigame, you'll use your hands to give Asuka's thick thighs a massage. How the game works is that you use both your hands to slap her thighs to make her feel good. The controls vary depending on what system you play this game on, and even though I play this game on PC, I think the best way to experience this game is on the Nintendo Switch. Switch version uses motion controls, and honestly, the motion controls work really well with the game. And you do have the option to play without motion controls if you really want to, but since I'm playing this on PC, that means no motion controls for me. In every minigame, your objective is to fill up this red gauge all the way up to the heart. In order to do this, you must use your two hands to massage her at a decent pace. If you go too slowly, she'll be upset with you, and if you're too hard, she'll feel pain. What the heck am I saying right now? This sounds so dirty! You want to keep this meter at the bottom and the middle as much as possible so that she'll feel good and the gauge will fill up faster. You do have a time limit, and if you don't get the red gauge filled up to the heart in time, then you'll basically fail the mission. But this game's incredibly easy, so you really don't need to worry about failing any of these minigames. And after the minigame is over, this happens. This is the first game we played, and I already feel like I need to be bonked.
Oh my. Ow, what the?
After completing a minigame, a vial will fill up slightly, and once it's full, you'll receive a piece of a puzzle. Also, the color of the liquid in the vial is what type of mood she's in. Once you complete enough minigames and get all the puzzle pieces, you'll unlock an ending. There are 5 regular endings for each color, and there's a true ending for getting all the other endings. There's 5 puzzle pieces per ending, and the vial is filled up after playing 5 minigames. Honestly, the game gets really repetitive and kind of boring if you play for a while, so trying to unlock the true ending really isn't that worth it in my opinion. As for the other minigames, well, they're all pretty similar. There's this minigame called Roller, where you use a roller on the back of her thighs, and it literally plays the exact same way as the hands minigame from earlier. You just move at a decent pace, and you'll fill up the gauge in no time flat. Like, this minigame is pretty much the exact same thing from earlier, but with a few minor differences. Well, maybe the brush minigame will be better. What the heck? It's the exact same thing! Yep, this minigame plays the exact same way as the other two. But oh, this time you move left and right instead of up and down, and you massage your arm this time around. So I guess there's a tiny difference here. Still, this minigame is pretty boring in my opinion. Now, this next minigame is arguably the weirdest one. This one is called Massager, and oh boy, is it not safe for little Timmy.
Mom? Why is this girl moaning like that?
You hold this vibrator device below her chest for a short period of time to pleasure her, and move it every few seconds to give her a break, so you don't hurt her. Yeah, this minigame plays exactly the same as all the other games, and it's honestly pretty boring. And those are all the minigames to play from here, and yeah, none of them are really that good at all. Heck, you can even unlock a feature that lets you skip the minigames entirely, which is nice, but also, it makes the play through the game feel kind of pointless. As for the rest of the game, there's not much more to talk about. Eventually you get an ending involving Suka and you finally confessing your feelings to each other, and the game will end on a happy note, which is sweet. There's also a dress up mode that lets you dress up as Suka in any outfit you want. I made this masterpiece. I caught Bunny Angel Blue Haired Waifu Zilla. Now, this game does have DLC, believe it or not, and this DLC lets you give massages to other girls from the series. Unfortunately, they all have the exact same minigames from before, and none of them are really that memorable. At least I can be together with my favorite girl, Yumi, now. So in the end, I didn't really like Senran Kagura Reflections that much. The gameplay was boring and repetitive, the story was lame, and unlocking everything was just a big pain. I will give it credit though, the soundtrack is pretty good, and the animations are well done, but other than that, this game wasn't very good.
Alright, that first game made me feel incredibly uncomfortable, but maybe the next game made me feel better.
Senran Kagura Spinoff.
I need to go visit a church.
So this game is called Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash, and you already know this game is going to be good when you see big titty anime girls on the menu screen. I mean, just opening up the case here reveals a game manual with some interesting cover art. Oh my god, they still use game manuals? I'm so happy! The game starts out with some narration about what the Peach Beach Splash competition is like. It's a water gun competition where Shinobi shoot each other with tournament-approved water guns, and they can't use any other special skills. So no Shadow Clone Jutsu for them. Next thing you know, we're watching a stream being broadcast on YouTube, NewTube. You meet the two hosts of the event, Mr. K and Miss R, who are literally just the teachers from the series wearing a disguise. They talk to the viewers about the rules of Peach Beach Splash, also known as PBS. Wait, like PBS Kids? All the Shinobi from the series are sent invites to participate in PBS, and we get to watch a nice anime intro. With tons of fan service, of course. This is a game series about boobs, what do you expect? So the gang all arrives at the PBS competition, and Mr. K and Miss R go over all the rules. I gotta say, I really love the energy these two have. I love how Mr. K talks in English a lot, even though the voice acting is Japanese.
Okay! Hey! Check it out! Do you understand?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Eventually, Mr. K and Miss R convince all the girls to compete in PBS, and now we finally get started playing the game. We start off with some tutorial levels. The game automatically makes us play as the lead Shinobi in their group throughout the tutorials, and we start off with my favorite girl, Yumi, and we finally get to learn how to play the game. The controls are pretty simple and straightforward. Oh, and by the way, I'm playing this game on a PS4 version, just to let you know. This is a third-person shooter game where you use L2 to aim and R2 to shoot water at your opponents. You can use the square button to refill your water tanks, you can jump with X, and you can do a dash that'll get you out of a bad situation but uses up water. You can also dash in the air, which is pretty nice. You can also use the triangle button to use a melee attack when your opponent gets too close to you. In every battle you have 3 hearts, and every heart has 100 health. If your opponent shoots you enough, the number at the top will reach 0, and once that happens, you'll lose a heart. You'll also be down for a little bit, unable to move after you lose a heart, so be careful. If your opponent is KO'd, then you can come up to them and perform a squirmy finish on them. This is where you enter a quick time event like State, where you get to shoot your opponent down up close with water. The fan service to this part is really at its best here, although there is some censorship. Gee, thanks Sony! You can also use a D-pad to claw up on a character to unleash an attack and help you in battle. When the meter at the top fills up, you'll enter Soaking Wet Power-Up mode, where you'll have unlimited water in your tank for a short period of time. This mode is very helpful for taking down large groups of enemies, so make it count. And that's how the game plays. I gotta say, the controls are really good and responsive here, and the tutorials do a great job on teaching you how to play. And that does it for the intro to the game, so now we're free to play through whatever game mode we want. For me, I mainly just focus on a single player mode, but this game does have a multiplayer mode if you're interested. In the story mode, you get to play through multiple stories with all the Shinobi teams. Each group has 10 missions to play through and has 14 in total, so you got 40 levels to play through in the story mode. Each story revolves around the Shinobi teams working together to win the PBS competition. Each mission has certain objectives you have to complete in order to proceed. These missions are pretty fun to play through and can even change the difficulty if things get too hard or easy out there for you. Trust me, things will get hard while playing this game if you know what I mean. You get to choose whatever member you want to play as during a match, which is pretty cool, and each character gets a deck of cards that they can use during battle. After you beat a mission, you get awarded with a bunch of cards, and they range from new squirt guns to character cards. Each character card has a star ranking system, with 1 star being the weakest and 5 stars being the strongest and rarest. Because of course this game had to have some gacha mechanics in it. During my time playing this game, I didn't get a single 5-star card, which is very annoying. Like, why must this game have this feature? It's so unnecessary. You also get some in-game money after a battle that you can use to buy outfits for the girls. Other than the story mode, you can also participate in Paradise episodes, and just look at this description here. I want to peek at all the Shinobi girls. I wonder if our pure, innocent viewers just might feel the same way. So let's show it all, the youthful drama that occurred behind the scenes of the PI Grand Prix. Pay attention, and let's splash! Yeah, this is a real video game that I purchased. So Paradise episodes are a series of missions involving 2 or more characters. Well, sometimes there's only 1 character. These characters team up in a mini-story event for 5 missions, and these missions are pretty fun for the most part. It's nice seeing these odd pairings of characters working together. The story events usually just involve a bunch of text on the screen, kinda like an old school visual novel, which is cool, but I do prefer looking at the girls in cutscenes.
That sounds very horny to me.
And then there's the V-Road Challenge, which is 5 rounds of team battles, and if you win all 5 matches, you'll win the cup. There's a School Cup, the Honey Cup, the Queen Cup, and the Venus Cup. Each cup has its own unique theme and characters to choose from. It's a pretty fun mode, but it can be a little repetitive at times. Now the game does have a few other bonus modes to choose from, like the dressing room / showers. In this mode you can change the outfits any of the girls are wearing, and you can set up 5 of them in a custom photo you're doing. I call this one Sims Paradise. And then I made this one called the Yumi Rear End Cult. And yeah, you can give the girls a shower too. And oh my, does it look lewd. Heck, you even get a trophy for this called Make It Rain. I mean, last time I tried to make it rain, I just got some weird looks from my neighbors. This game is also playable in VR, but considering I don't have a VR headset, I can't play this mode at all. It's probably just a bunch of boobs in your face or something. There's also a shop where you can buy squirt guns, outfits, music, etc. You can even change what girl you want to run the shop for free. How nice! And you can check out the library where you can view your card collection, illustrations, movies, etc. Honestly, at this point, I don't have much more to say about this game. Overall, I think it's a pretty decent game. The control is well, the gameplay is fun, the story and characters are entertaining, and even the music is great. Now, is it perfect? No, the game does get repetitive pretty quickly, and there's not a lot of different modes to play from, but I still think it's a good game despite some of the censorship issues. It also feels really satisfying being someone in this game. I beat a really hard CPU once, and from that day forward, I became the best Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash player in the world. I even added that to my resume. I'll get hired at any job for that.
So tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I'm the best Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash player in the world.
Well, you should have started with that. You're hired.
Thank you.
This guy's gonna curse day one and instantly get fired, I can tell.
I'm so good at Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash. Alright, so now that I completed my dream of becoming the best Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash player in the world, I can follow along with my other dream of being a professional chef. I have no idea how to use this thing.
So this next game is called Senran Kagura Bon Appetit. This is a cooking rhythm-based game where you play as one of the Shinobi and attempt to cook a meal while pushing a lot of buttons. It's like Guitar Hero, but with way more tits. The game starts out with some dialogue talking about the super dish cook-off. So yeah, it's kind of similar to Peach Beach Slash's intro. The intro even says not to take this game seriously. See, the devs really knew who their audience is here. The game has a decent amount of modes to choose from. You got your story mode where you play through one of the many waifu campaigns. You got your arcade mode where you go through multiple rounds of cooking without any story. You got free mode where you sing the main theme from Sonic Free Riders. Wait. Sorry, that's not right. That's the mode where you can face off against another player. Dressing room, which... yeah. Library settings and whatever honor roll is. Let's start by checking out the game's story mode. So yeah, out the bat you have 22 waifus to choose from, and each story mode lasts for around 30 minutes. The story modes revolve around the Shinobi you pick entering the Super Dish Cook-Off, and they want to win. Each story starts off with this visual novel text explaining what your character is up to. Let's see what Asuka's up to. Okay then. Yeah, the writing in this game is really self-aware, which makes this whole experience even better. After that visual novel style cutscene happens, we get an actual cutscene where you get two Shinobi talking to each other about to face off in a cooking contest. They both have a little chat, make some lewd jokes, and bam, we finally get to start playing the game. So the game plays like your typical rhythm-based game, where you have to push the right button at the right time in order to get a good score. Just press the correct buttons as close to the middle of the ninja star as possible, and you'll get it perfect. But if you mess up too many times, then you'll fail the mission. Thankfully, there is a difficulty setting, and knowing how bad I am at these types of games, I just played on easy mode. Here's the interesting part though. At the top of the screen you have this bar that represents how good or bad you're doing against your opponent. When the bar is all the way up for you, and you're at a certain point in the song, Master Hanzo will judge your cooking so far, and if you win, your opponent will lose some of their clothes. Keep doing this until the song is over, and your opponent might become completely naked. At the end of the song, Hanzo will taste test your dish and give his opinions on it. His reactions are really over the top and hilarious, and he'll give you a ranking on how well you did. Also, I'm not really sure what happened to Ikuruga here, but I'm sure she's alright. Also, since this game is a very fanservice-y game, when you beat your opponent, they get covered in food, and you can take pictures of them. Yeah, it's pretty weird. In all honesty, all the story modes in this game play exactly the same, and I'd rather not go into detail about everything that happens in each story. So let's move on. The other modes in this game are also super similar to story mode, except no cutscenes. You just face off against a bunch of opponents in arcade mode until you become a master chef. The game does have multiplayer, which you can do in free mode. The multiplayer can get pretty fun too. And the dressing room is pretty much the exact same thing as the one we saw from Peach Beach Splash, but with slightly lower graphics. Now, since this is a rhythm-based game, then it has a ton of songs to play through. The overall song list is alright for the most part. Some songs sound amazing, and some others are a bit underwhelming. I mean, let's be real here, nobody focuses on the music that much when you're seeing sexy anime girls showing off their assets in the background. Stop trying to distract me, I'm trying to focus! Holy crap, is that Jotaro? Honestly, I don't have much more else to say about this game. It's a decent game, but it does get kinda repetitive and boring after a little while. I do enjoy the humor and character interactions a lot, and the game runs really smoothly too. And while I don't think it's as good as Peach Beach Splash, I still think it's a pretty decent game overall. I mean, what other game has your waifu covered in cream and chocolate?
Alright, so I got one more game that I wanted to talk about today. And no, it's not this game. It's called Senran Kagura Peach Ball. Now here's the thing, I actually played this game before, back when I went to E3 back in 2019. And I'll say the game, it was not that great. But who knows, that was 4 whole years ago. Maybe the game got better in time, so let's check it out.
So this last game is called Senran Kagura Peach Ball, not to be confused with Peach Beach Splash. See, this one has a ball in the title.
Ball. Enjoy.
Also, no, your eyes are not deceiving you. All the girls have become furries.
No!
Okay, let's just start up the game. So in this game's opening cutscene, we see Haruka has a job working in an arcade, and there's a new arcade game called Shinobi Fighter 5. Wow, what an original title, am I right? And a bunch of the Shinobi girls are here to play the game. Also, yeah, a good portion of the scene once again has that visual novel style text here. During the grand finals, Riona comes back from her trip to the bathroom, covered in fur, and looks like a dog. And the reason why she's now a dog is simple. Haruka created a body-changing contraption called Beastall in the bathroom. And she had a bad feeling it would cause trouble, so she hid it on the bathroom shelf? That's a pretty bad hiding spot. Then we actually get to see the girls in the next cutscene, and yeah, Riona is acting like a dog, and then she starts to lick all the girls. And this transforms them all into furries. And the only way to turn them all back to normal is to use this ball called the Peach Ball. That will produce a special mist that can turn all the girls back into humans. But in order to activate it, you need to create a proper vibration force. Oh god, that sounds weird. And how do you do that, you may be asking? By playing pinball, of course! Okay, when I said pinball, I didn't mean this crappy stage in Sonic Heroes. I love how she's asking the player here to actually fix all this. And yeah, just like all the other games we've played so far, we got most of the exact same modes. But once again, we got story mode with multiple storylines. Free mode lets you play a fun game of pinball. Dressing room lets you dress up the girls. And all the other modes are pretty self-explanatory. Each story has 5 stages to play through, and there's a few missions available that when cleared will give you a reward. You can also play with the assist mode on in case things get too tricky. So anyways, all the story modes involve you, the player, and Haruka locating the character whose story you're playing through and trying to return them into a human. In order to do this, you try to talk to the girls to get them to remember things that happened in the past when they were humans. And if that doesn't work, then you get to play a game of pinball, or Peach Ball. You know, this game series is really obsessed with peaches.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
So now we can probably start playing the game. You start out by selecting what ball you want, and of course, I had to pick Yumi, since she's my favorite. And after a quick acid trip, we start playing the game. In this game, we can use the trigger buttons to use the flippers. You can also shake the Joy-Cons, and this will cause the machine to shake. And this will change a ball's trajectory, and it can also change the girl's position. You can also use a D-pad to change your camera angles, which can help you while playing. So yeah, it plays like most other pinball-style video games, but the major difference being there's a sexy anime girl on the stage. On the right side of the screen, there's some objectives called Peach Missions. If you clear them, then that leads you to receiving Peach Points, and if you get enough Peach Points, then you can turn a girl back to normal. Most of the missions are really easy, so it should be a smooth playthrough. Finally, I can throw my balls in my waifu's face. After getting enough points, you activate Sexy Challenge, which is a mini game where you rack up a ton of points really quickly. And yeah, these sections are where the fan service is at its best. There's 3 different versions of Sexy Challenge, each of which have a different mini game. Now, some of these minigames can change a little bit depending on what stage you play on, but they're mostly the same thing. Here's one I played right here. The first one has you hit some rubber ducks, I'll spray the girl with water. The second one has a girl riding a balloon, and if you hit the pump in the middle to make the balloon larger until it pops. And the last one has you use flippers to attack her boobs. What the heck is this game? Once you complete the Super Sexy Challenge, then you have beaten the level and have saved the girl. Also, yeah, the girls will get more and more naked at the end of every Sexy Challenge. There's also some points during the game where certain events will occur, like Fever Time where you earn more points, Puzzle Time where 3 Peach Balls will appear and you can earn more points, etc. And at the end of every Shinobi story, once you save them, you get to see a cute little cutscene with you both having a special moment together. Hey, Yumi, holding hands is considered very lewd. This is supposed to be a family-friendly channel. Now stop being a furry and get naked already. Honestly, this game is not bad, but it's just not that interesting at all to me. Like, it's just a game of pinball, and it gets boring after a short period of time. Like, yeah, the fan service and music is nice, but the gameplay just gets so boring after a bit. Of course, it doesn't help that I've never been a big fan of pinball-style levels in other video games. The level design is good and all, but it just didn't keep me interested for that long. Free mode does let me customize our rule set, which was nice, but that still wasn't enough to keep me entertained. So overall, I'd say Senran Kagura Peach Ball is an alright game, but pretty forgetful. I mean, hey, it could be worse. We could be playing Atari pinball instead of Big Titty Anime Girl pinball.
この世の義憤を力に変えて天が落ちても太陽なす夢月の正義を舞いたがいます
So those were some Senran Kagura spin-off games. The gameplay was fun, but kind of repetitive. The music was nice, but the stories weren't really that great. I'd say the best part about those games was the fan service, but it makes sense considering that game series is all about the fan service. It was still fun to play through all these games, and who knows, maybe I'll look at the actual main series titles in the future. It is kind of strange seeing ninja girls actually do stuff like that in video games, but whatever. Well, at least I'm still the best ninja.
There you are, Robert! Yeah! Yeah! Take this! Take this! Take this!